So.
Alright, today we're making Christmas cheesy eggs and they're scrambled. For 6 people, I do 2 eggs. That's 6 eggs. And then for every 2 eggs, I do 1 egg white. So I measured out and this is enough for like 6 egg whites. So first I scramble them all together. And then, so I'm using 4 different cheeses. And usually you can use whatever cheese you can have, like Parmesan, cheddar. But I got Wisconsin cheddar, smoked cheese, Gouda, American cheese because this adds like a really good creamy. And then Parmesan cheese adds a really good salty flavor without adding too much like table salt. So I get these nice and scrambled, but I don't want to over scramble them because when I'm cooking them, I like maintain that like creamy texture. I don't want them over scrambled. And then I'm gonna add all the cheese, and I pretty much do a ratio of like 20% of my egg is gonna be cheese. So I just add it all together. And then I mix it up. And you want it to kind of look like, it's gonna look like a lot of cheese, but then when you cook it, it's gonna melt down and it really won't feel like that much cheese. So it's gonna look something like this. And then before you put it in the pan, you wanna make sure the pan is buttered, because you wanna use butter, it tastes better than margarine, Pam, any of that stuff. And so I'm gonna add a little more butter. And the way I like my eggs, I like to use low heat. So if you have another oven that you can adjust the temperature, do like low heat so it melts all the butter. And then when you pour the eggs on, increase the heat like 2 levels. You don't want the eggs to be like on a super hot pan when you first put them on. And the reason why is because you want the cheese to melt first before the eggs cook. That way it's like blended well with the eggs. Alright, so now I'm just going to put these in. So one technique that I've learned that you don't want to do is like chopping the eggs when you're mixing them. You want to do like a folding motion. So you never break the proteins of the egg. They stay maintained, and so when they're finished, they're like this, kind of like they're all in one piece. They're like one big creamy, big chunk of egg. And then a lot of people like, so this oven's hot, so I need to lift the pan up while it's cooking, because I don't want it to cook too fast. So I'm just kind of scraping around the edge of the pan. And you don't want to walk away from when you're doing this because eggs can cook really fast. If you walk away and even like get a cup of coffee, your eggs will be ruined because they cook so fast. I'm gonna rotate the pan because like this is a huge, I don't think I've ever made this big of a pan before. A lot of people salt and pepper eggs, so we're gonna do that at the end. But I found that like Gordon Ramsay told me that when you salt the eggs while you're cooking them, it can actually cook them into like a different texture, and make them have like a hard texture. And I like my eggs super soft. So you can see I'm just kind of folding the eggs into one another.
Good.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. Thought it'd be like super late. Everyone be eating already.
Merry Christmas, Jay.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Is your person asleep?
Carson.
There's rabbit cake.
That's a lot of eggs.
I know. I've never made this many eggs at once before.
Yeah, changes the game.
Yeah. Well, it's like harder. It's a big pan. It's like. Another thing is when you're cooking eggs and they're all finished, you don't want to leave them in the pan because the pan's super hot. And eggs are super sensitive to temperature, so they're going to keep cooking in the pan. So they might look good right after you finish cooking, and then if you walk away, get everyone ready for breakfast, come back, your eggs are going to be a whole different kind of eggs. So I'm going to put these in a bowl right when I'm finished. Alright, they're almost ready. So if you have another oven, you would turn it on super low heat at this time because they're almost ready. So you'd want to make sure. Some people like their eggs a little drier, wetter, but I kind of like them like this. They're so cheesy that like you can see the cheese melting. So I'm gonna now pour them into the bowl. I'm gonna do a little bit more because I see like some egg. You want to look at the egg white parts. You want to make sure they're not like sticky looking. I see some still, so I'm going to leave it on the oven for a few more seconds. Alright, they're ready. Look at those cheesy eggs. I'm going to pour them into the bowl. Alright, that's a wrap. Yay!
No one would ever know. if we
And
didn't
this
see
is an option, you can add egg whites.
Are you going to film this?
It's on.
Oh, okay.
it. Where are they?
So you can add
Cup.
egg whites. I like to add them when I'm cooking the eggs, but I forgot. So I'm gonna cook these and then just mix them into the already cooked eggs.
So those are just a mixture of milk and egg whites?
This is just straight up egg whites.
Really?
So we measured them, so you wanna use like 1 egg white for every 2 full eggs that you use. So we're using 6 egg whites.
You're such a sister.
I'm gonna add more cheese, because why not?
So this is the fluffy option.
Yeah, this will make your eggs lighter, especially if you're hungry. You want to eat like more eggs, but you don't want to add added fat and calories. Egg whites are super low in calories and fat, and then they add extra protein. Chica wants some eggs. So a lot of people use like milk or cream to eggs, but like since I use so much cheese, it really doesn't need that. That's why these are called cheesy eggs.
So you just mix that in with the other eggs you just made.
Yeah.
a new variation of the recipe.
It's called Life Happens.
So you can get a little of each.
Yeah.
If you want them real cheesy, you get some of that. So that's cheesier than the rest, right?
This?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super cheesy.
Alright. Is everyone ready? Alright, now I'm gonna add these to my original eggies. Egg whites cook a little weird, so I'm just gonna like kind of scoop them out because there's so much water in egg white. I want just the protein. And then I'll mix it up. I'm just folding them in because you don't want to break the eggs. All right, here we go.
Beautiful.